They appear without warning in the dead of night. Fields that look calm and untouched under the evening sky can be ripped apart by the time the sun rises. What seems like safe, fertile land becomes a battlefield overnight. For many American farmers, it isn't drought, it isn't storms, and it isn't even market crashes that strike the deepest fear. It's wild BOARS in the vast agricultural heartlands of the United States, where golden fields of corn, soybeans, and wheat stretch endlessly to the horizon. An unexpected enemy lurks in the shadows. Farmers already face challenges from unpredictable weather patterns, from global market fluctuations, and from rising input costs like fertilizer, seed, and fuel. But in recent decades, another problem has taken root, one that neither technology nor insurance policies have been able to solve. Wild boars, often called feral swine, are at the center of this crisis. Originally introduced centuries ago by European settlers, these animals were once considered a source of food and sport. But over time, through escapes from farms and intentional releases for hunting, they spread. They adapted. They survived. And eventually, they exploded into a nationwide menace. Today, feral hogs are estimated to cause more than $1.5 billion in agricultural damages across the United States each year. That staggering number is more than statistics on a government report. It is the difference between profit and loss, survival and ruin for countless family farms. From tearing through fields of corn to rooting up freshly planted soybeans. From destroying irrigation lines to contaminating water sources. They leave behind a trail of destruction that many farmers describe as worse than any storm. A single sounder, that is what scientists call a group of wild boars, can destroy acres of crops in just one night. Their snouts, built like battering rams, can uproot the soil with terrifying force, ripping apart carefully planted rows as if they were nothing. Once they have invaded a field, no crop is safe. Wheat, corn, cotton, rice, peanuts, anything edible becomes fair game. And unlike weather disasters, which strike once in a season, wild boars return again and again, night after night. For farmers, the damage is not only economic, it is deeply personal. Imagine working tirelessly for months, preparing your fields, nurturing your crops, protecting them through storms and droughts, only to step outside one morning and find the field flattened, shredded, ruined. The sense of loss is crushing. It is not just plants that are destroyed, but hopes, livelihoods, and traditions. Many farmers describe it as heartbreaking, a constant battle that drains not only their wallets, but also their morale. Some admit that without stronger control measures, they fear family farms, the backbone of rural America, will not survive. And yet, despite the crisis, the wild boar is no ordinary enemy. It is one of the most adaptable and intelligent invasive species on the planet. These animals are survivors. They thrive in forests, swamps, grasslands, and farmlands alike. They can eat nearly anything, from roots and crops to carrion and small animals. Their strength, intelligence, and aggression make them uniquely difficult to manage. And what makes the crisis truly alarming is their reproductive power. A single female can produce 2 litters per year, with 4 to 6 piglets on average. In favorable conditions, some litters number 10 or more. Within just a few months, the young are ready to reproduce themselves. This means that a small group of wild hogs can multiply into hundreds within just a few years. Wildlife experts warn that unless their populations are aggressively controlled, their numbers could spiral out of control, spreading to new areas and wreaking even greater havoc. That the consequences stretch far beyond agriculture. Wild boars compete with native wildlife such as deer, turkeys, and quail for food and habitat. They uproot forests, destroy wetlands, and erode riverbanks. They raid bird nests and threaten endangered species. On top of that, they spread diseases, swine brucellosis, pseudorabies, and even pathogens dangerous to humans and livestock. A single infected hog could potentially cripple a cattle operation or contaminate water sources, relied upon by entire communities. Wildlife managers face a daunting task. Some regions rely on organized hunts to thin the population. Others deploy advanced methods, aerial shooting from helicopters, large-scale corral traps capable of capturing entire sounders, and even sterilization programs. Each approach carries costs and controversies. Hunting alone, while effective at the local level, cannot keep pace with the sheer reproductive rate of wild hogs. Trapping requires coordination and resources many rural communities lack. Sterilization, while promising, is still expensive and difficult to implement on a massive scale. Yet for farmers standing in their ruined fields, the debate over ethics and policy feels distant. For them, hunting is not sport, it is survival. In many rural communities, hunting wild hogs has become both a cultural tradition and a vital tool of defense. Families gather to track and eliminate sounders, using dogs, rifles, and sometimes even helicopters to stem the tide. The hunts are dangerous. The animals are aggressive, fast, and capable of inflicting serious injuries, but for many, the risk is worth it.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.